Hey guys, Ryan Steinelson here. I'm the founder of Accelerate Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about the usual, which is conversational AI or AI agents that will help your business to do a lot of things. One of the things that it can do is it can answer the phone, it can do outbound phone calls. We've got a few people that are going to be that are actually in the waiting room, and we will add them in a second here. S and Ramil. Ramil's been waiting for a little while. I know he's actually been in the waiting room for about probably 10 minutes. So just to give you a little context of who I am. So as I said, I'm the founder of Accelerate Marketing. We're a digital marketing agency that's been around for about 16 years. And over the past 2 years, we've been developing a conversational AI agent for businesses, primarily to solve the problem of being able to answer the phone calls that are normally missed by their Google local service ads or Google business profile pages that they have set up, because those are the two campaign types that we focus on with our agency, with the agency that I founded over 16 years ago, is Google local service ads and Google business profile, which are the two top places that a local business would show up. Service-based businesses, professional businesses, they show up at the top of Google, and the top result is the Google local service ads, and typically below that you'll see the Google business profile pages. One of the biggest challenges that I've realized in having 2 to 3 conversations a day over the past 15 years, 16 years with business owners in order to help them, because they see my content on YouTube, and also with agency owners, is, a lot of times they're not even aware of it, but they're actually missing a lot of phone calls. And typically about 30% is the average number of calls. And we're going to go into, as you saw in the description, we're going to go into a little bit more detail about that, like just really how prevalent this problem is. And it's not just with voice calls, it's with message leads or emails, what have you. There's all the different types of inbound leads that come into a business are being missed or being delayed in terms of responding to them by a business owner. So, and as it says on the screen, you can text the word audit to 619-304-5155, or you can ask us, any questions there. My team is manning the booth, so to speak, in order to respond to questions if you have them. We also have an AI agent at the end of that phone number. And then also you can go to our school community. It's free. You can see at the bottom as well. It's school.com/local lead labs. I'll take those down in a second here. So again, it's skool.com/local lead labs. There's probably over 4 hours worth of free content there that will help you as a business owner understand how to optimize your Google local service ads page and your Google or your Google business profile page. So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, and I've said many, many times before, we are partners with Google. It is important, if you're actually working in your Google local service ads platform, or you have somebody working on it for you, that you really have somebody that has been selected by Google to do that. What it does is it gives you really almost an unfair advantage because you've got somebody there that can get things done that normally you wouldn't be able to get done on your own. We actually have access to our partner level support that we meet with every Wednesday. We can even get access to data like, where you should open up your next location, because we know where there's the most searches for any particular vertical. We get that data provided to us by Google. And we also can identify where there's the least amount of competition. So we can combine those two things to help you really understand where you should position your business, where you should open up your next location. And we also help you even get through the onboarding process much faster as well. So if you have any questions, we like to make this a workshop type format. You can text us, or you can chat any questions, or you can jump in. I'm going to send the invite out for anybody that wants to join. I'll put this in the comments here, and I'll post it to all the social media platforms that we're streaming live to right now. And then I'll I'll add Ramil and S to the stage. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, can you hear me?
Hey, right.
Hey, how's it going? Awesome. Good to see you. S. Ramil, are you there? Hey, what's up?
What's up?
How's it going? So are you are you an agency owner or are you a business owner?
I'm a business owner. Yeah, but my case a little different because I have Google My Business. Also, we're working on startup like home improvement kind of app, like be better than Thumbtack or TaskRabbit. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So you've got a business and you also are developing an app.
Yeah, but the business on Google My Business, it's kind of neutral. We don't use it. There is some reviews and it's a 5-star. Yeah, but we don't use it. And I think like how I could use your help to apply to my either business or startup, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So and how'd you find us, by the way?
I just was searching some handyman stuff on school yesterday. Yeah, and I asked GPT. Actually, yeah, I found you through GPT, ChatGPT.
Oh, okay,
Oh, that's
right. Look at that. After our
Yeah.
conversation last week about
so
how the new game is going to be optimized for getting on LLMs, it
oh
looks like
yeah.
we got the
So
first response.
tell me what kind of search did you do? Because I mean, we were talking about this last week. Like I said, one of the things that I actually just recorded a video about this, about how to
Mm-hmm.
optimize for for ChatGPT or any of the LLMs. One of the things that ChatGPT, because of course I asked ChatGPT, how would you want me to optimize for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not ask ChatGPT itself what I
Mm-hmm.
should do as a business owner in order to optimize for it? And one of the things that it said is surprisingly, the first thing that it said was put your listing or actually focus on Bing, like not Google. Actually,
Oh.
and this is kind of counterintuitive. So
Uh,
Google
uh,
ChatGPT actually uses Bing as its reference point for the data that it uses for businesses because it doesn't want to endorse anything that has to do with Google or Gemini. So of course it's going to Bing. But obviously Bing's got its own LLM. But so I found that it's kind of interesting. The other thing that you can do is, and it's interesting. So what did you search for? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. So I searched for what would be the top handyman niche groups that would help with my business, and you was the first. There was other
try
guys,
that.
second, third.
Okay, so was this on school?
Yeah. GPT showed me the links for the school. Yeah, I was asking, give me like top uh, groups on school that I can use for my business. And you was the first and second group, then third, but you were number one for my goals.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, and you specifically asked for basically like your service-based businesses.
Yeah, home improvement, handyman stuff.
Interesting. So, which is exactly what the school community is about. It's primarily for the optimization of Google local service ads, or for Google local service ads or Google Business Pro. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to present, or yes, you can show your screen as well. I mean, I'm really curious to see. I want to try to
Sure.
recreate this, and then Ramil, I want to help you. I mean, so let me know what questions you have, how I can help you, what I can, you know.
Uh, right now, I mean, me and my friend, we used to work as a handyman for a long time on Thumbtack, on TaskRabbit, but time passed and we are tired of it, and we just want to find the people, the pros, and connect these guys with the leads, and just get like be the middle guy, and
Okay.
that's it. Because working as a handyman requires a lot of tools. It's heavy, and yeah, it's better to be a middleman in this case.
Yes. So I'm doing a search right now. School communities to help service-based businesses. Is that kind of what you did a search on GPT for?
Actually, I can I somehow share my screenshot of GPT, what I did
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, you can.
How I do that?
Here, there, at the bottom of your screen, there should be something that says, share your screen. You can share your screen.
Let me see.
There.
By the way, Ryan, I kind of just ran it now. They localize the results.
Yeah.
I'm in Boston right now, and they're giving me groups in Boston on ChatGPT. I got the plus version.
Yeah, I just upgraded actually to GPT.
Yeah. I also did deep search, by the way. I did a deep search.
Oh, you did deep research? You didn't do a search on
Yeah.
Oh.
I did deep research.
Interesting. So you did deep research and not just a search. So for real feedback from customers. Okay, so another Reddit, examples of service-based school communities. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I cannot see the stream this to your audience.
You can't? Okay. There should be something down
I cannot see the button. But is it the one that says stream this to your audience?
Yeah, maybe that might be it. You oh, you know what? I don't know. Maybe on your phone you can't share your screen. I don't think you can actually.
Actually, I can, but it asks me to sign up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm really. It's interesting that you did that. That the way that you share. The way that you found us. I mean, that's fascinating. And if you want to share your screen, go ahead. I don't know if you want to share your screen.
I mean, I suppose I could.
Yeah.
Just great. And make sure I get the right one. There we go. I'm trying on ChatGPT. Okay, so I saw that when I said something to the effect of I want to optimize discovery of my niche home services company, home improvement handyman, to localize the results.
Yeah.
What are the communities and groups to join, right? So I went through and Facebook, Reddit, nothing about. Let me see if I say anything specific on school community.
Okay. Interesting. And then, by the way, while he's doing that, Ramil, the way that I would, and you probably heard what I said in the beginning in the intro. If we work with you, I mean, we are local service ad partners, so we do get data from Google that tells us where there's the least amount of competition and the most searches. So we can definitely help you with that. What I would do and what we've recommended to business owners is that they set up multiple locations. So we call it our multiple location strategy. I mean, not real original, but it's what we do to help businesses increase the likelihood that they'll get more leads locally from the local service ads platform. Because remember, with local service ads, it comes down to the 3 R's. It's reviews, radius, response rate. So you want to make sure that you're as close to the searcher as possible. And that's why you want to optimize for the radius as well. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
if you optimize for the radius, then you're going to show up in the search results. And this is the reason why you want to open up new locations that are not just at your current location, so that you can it's like having more fishing poles in the water. The more poles you have in the water, the more likely you have the more likely you're going to catch fish. So what you want to do is just increase the number of poles you have in the water by increasing the locations that you have so that you're more local to more people.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And I guess that means you will spend a little more on ads, right?
Well, it not necessarily. I mean, the goal is to spend as little as possible to get as many leads as possible, and you can do that. And by the way, anybody that's watching, I mean, you can, if you're interested in you can learn more by going to the school community. It's at skool.com/local lead labs. And, one of the ways to really give yourself an unfair advantage is to leverage what we're talking about today, which is the conversational AI agents. There's a lot of new data out there that, I mean, people are really winning with conversational AI agents. I mean, they're absolutely crushing it. And what I really want you to see is that you can leverage your conversational AI agent to back up your human intake and increase the likelihood that your calls are going to be answered. So that's really how you can create an unfair advantage. So as it said in the description, are you losing leads and money because of missed calls and follow-ups? And you're not alone if you are, because studies show that the first to respond to the lead wins 35 to 50% of the sales opportunities. And some say up to 78%. The problem is that most businesses, the average lead waits nearly 47 hours for a reply. So the good news is it's not very hard to beat your competition, because your competition is 47 hours. And so if you respond in less than 30 seconds, which the AI can do every time, then you're going to win that lead. And so that's how you fix that. That's how you give yourself an unfair advantage with an AI, a 24/7, salesperson that never, falls, so that none of your leads ever fall through the cracks again. And you can have it just back up your intake. So you can have your intake take the first 20 seconds to try to answer the phone, and then the AI agent can take the last 10 seconds to try to respond if your humans don't answer. So yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of really good data here that we've got now that I can share with you, that are from reputable sources out there. There's a case study of a business coach that added an AI bot to follow up with emails, and they tripled their consults to bookings. So it 3x their revenue. And then another case study is a car dealership where AI handled SMS follow-up, and they attribute about $1 million in sales to the AI agent. And they booked 43% more showroom visits as a result. So, and then there's another one, the local plumbing business. The AI answers overflow calls. So again, this is overflow. This is what I'm talking about. You give your human intake the first 20 seconds, and then it only answers after your human intake doesn't answer the call. And they got a 30% lift in booked jobs in 90 days. They reclaimed thousands of dollars in lost revenue. So that's what that's what I would.
It was the same on Thumbtack. If you don't reply in the first minute.
Oh yeah. Well, they send it just Thumbtack, and I've said this many times on this call. Thumbtack, Home Advisor, Yelp, all of them, Bing, Google local service ads, they resell the lead to 3 or 4 different people, and whoever responds the fastest is the one that gets it. And so if you put an AI agent at the end of that lead, that intake, then you're going to convert those leads, because your competition is 47 hours.
Yeah.
So that's primarily in a nutshell what we talk about, and then we can get into some more esoteric stuff now. Now that I've recorded that, and I'm going to upload that to ChatGPT to reinforce, to give it some reinforcement memory of me in my, so I can build my knowledge base. So
I mean, right. I think, and this might be a little selfish. I think it's when you go into the esoteric stuff that it gets really interesting, right? Because it's kind of
yeah,
like the points of, here's just the rest of the world, like what additional value, what insight, and I think it's interesting that Ramil, that you're doing also in an app, because like before even getting on this call, and it started with our conversation last week, Ryan, right? Like the game going forward is going to be how do you get recommended by ChatGPT, right? And you
yeah,
can imagine, all right, okay, OpenAI is 49% owned by Microsoft, so of course they're like, hey, we'll do the Bing search results, right? You're gonna have Anthropic, you're gonna have all these different products, right? Where they have people's ear. I mean, we have a product that was offered as a kids thing, right? But now we have thousands of people
yeah,
talking to that AI, literally asking me for products and service recommendations. And I'm like, wow, what's actually driving all of this? Like we use OpenAI as a model, right? So like, of course, we're kind of getting the big search results in a way, right? But if we chose to swap over to Gemini, if we chose to use Anthropic, right? Like there's going to be all this competition in terms of attention. And what's most important is getting in front of the consumer as quickly as possible through whatever channel they're used to, right? So I think, you mentioned that, going through Thumbtack and getting leads that way, like you're always going to be beholden to like this network that throws you scraps on a whim, right? But the app channel, it's tough because I've built apps before, right? If you can get that captive audience to begin, right, provide them value, like I see kind of going forward, like this world where I think getting on LLMs is going to completely dwarf discovery on search engines. It's going to dwarf discovery on social media because it's whoever that consumer has a conversation with, whatever AI, whatever chatbot they're chatting with, right? You got to almost work backwards and ask yourself, like, how do I get on those? And then, and here's the esoteric thought. Sorry, I rambled on for a bit,
Mhm.
but we're creating conversational AI agents for companies that replicate the analog world, meaning we're getting AI that talks on the phone, right? 100-year-old technology, and to send text messages, probably just as old. Um, but there is a world where everybody has a personal AI, right? That goes out and combs. Hey, who's the best contractor? Because I need to do this, like in my apartment, because I have recessed lighting that does this, right? And those conversations could be had by AI in the background, right? With your AI that says, hey, we specialize in these four things, right?
yeah,
And then just be like, hey, had a discussion. Your AI had a discussion with their AI, figured out a time, I helped you book it, right? And so all this kind of human interaction potentially goes away.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, it really it turns into a situation where, and I agree, because why would you go and just do a search for a business when you can actually get a referral basically from an LLM and have the LLM do the research for you, just like I did for today's workshop. Like I had, I set up a task for every Monday and Wednesday to be prepared for this workshop by setting up a task and having the AI ChatGPT go out and do research on Reddit to see what the most relevant, most current talked about topics are in the world of conversational AI, so that I can talk about those things and I can give you the studies, for example, with all the context and all of the reference links, so that you guys are up to date and so that I'm up to date on like what's really happening out there. And the same thing can be done with the business in terms of, like if I'm really good at cabinetry work, then there's going to be some references out there. There's going to be other websites that are going to be talking about me being really good and, at one specific thing. And that's what these very smartly, these LLMs are looking for. They're looking for, that's one of the things that they suggest, that you get referenced on other websites, kind of like the old backlinks. Okay. But you don't really need to have a backlink anymore. You could just, these LLMs are smart enough to basically be able to figure out, where you're at probably without even having a backlink. But you just want to get reference. You want to get your name mentioned, by other people as the go-to guy for whatever it is that you do. And then those, just like having those backlinks in the old days of search engine optimization, it's the same thing with LLMs. They're looking for those references, and they also really value reviews. So it's really, the game is very similar. The other big change though that they gave in ChatGPT when I actually asked for it, is like for feedback on how to rank well for LLMs, is it said to create content that's more bite-sized and answering people's questions very poignantly without in other words, no more long blog posts. It's almost like an FAQ page, like that is just ongoing. It's like a never-ending FAQ page of answering every single question that people might ask in the form of, well, I would probably even do like a short video, and I would do a really short text. And that is what is ranking in the LLMs. The LLMs will use that as reference to, it'll basically just pull up your results. It'll pull up your answer, and it'll give you the reference, and it'll show you in the LLM. So those are some things that you can do to rank in the LLMs. And the other thing that you can do, and we talked about this, and this is how it really correlates with the AI conversation that we're having today, is you can add a chat agent. We've talked about this for months now. Add a chat agent to your website, because what happens is you get the time on site to go up because people are interacting with the chat agent on your website. And by doing that, the time on site goes up, and therefore the website that you have for your business the rankings go up very significantly. And we've both experienced that with, S has experienced that. Actually, S, you can show, like it's interesting. Like if you type in, what is it?
Chat
best
with a coach.
AI coach or something?
Not even best. Like it's we had this life coach that was up, right? And for a while, I was like, I was ranking pretty well with life coach, right? Yeah. And we ranked well for AI anything, right? And then eventually, probably like a year in, now if I put chat with a coach, right, on our on a Google search, we beat out even coach customer care. They're like, oh, you must want to chat with the life coach, right? And the fact that when you click this site, you can have your coach session right then and there, right? Sure, it's AI, it's not a person, but like, look, you wanted some advice, right? And so I think this is ranking super high because of this. Yeah. And I've even started seeing on some of our like client pages, because this is an embed, right? Like it's an iframe embed, right? Yeah. But on some of our client pages, when we had this up, I was like, oh my God, this chat widget, like that as a title, right? And this very first message somehow got scraped and got presented as a Google search result. Yep. So that's like the next level that like I think going forward, all these search algorithms are gonna optimize for like instant interaction, right? Yep. Gone may be the days of like, hey, I was looking for a plumber, and then I clicked, listings to 10 plumbers, and then had to go do something. It may just be, all right, who allows you to chat and get some of your answers answered right away?
Yes. So I hope that makes, yeah. And I'm actually putting this in a comment. Ask any questions. If you guys have any questions, ask away, or you can join. You can join the live stream. Just like Ramil did. You don't have to even show your camera. You can just, take someone and we'll do an audit of your business. That's really why I wanted to create this is to make it more of a workshop format, as opposed, really put the focus on you guys and your businesses, and not so much, S has been, he's been creating chat agents. We're partnering on enterprise level agents for businesses, and where we're automating, we're using chat agents to step into every part of the businesses that we're working with. That's, like attorneys or service-based businesses. We're interacting, we're engaging with their CRM that they already have connected to their business, whether that's Service Titan or Filevine, for the attorneys, or, there's so many different, there's so many different CRMs. Go High Level, obviously. We can integrate with all of them, and by doing that, what you're doing is you're enabling the automation or the agent to be able to communicate directly with your customers, either in that intake environment or anywhere in between the intake and even like the end, which is be like the review process, and you could have it do the invoicing, you could have it do the booking of the appointment, you can have it do the everything. Like, it depends on if you're a service-based business. If you're an attorney, there's a lot of, pre-litigation follow-up that needs to be done with the insurance companies. All of that can be handled by the AI agent. And what S and I are finding out is, and this is what a lot of the big, now multi-million or billion-dollar, funded companies are finding out, is that the gold or the opportunity is really in being able to go into the business and find out what that workflow is, and to get the insight of the business or from the business owner, from the employees, and really map out, using ChatGPT, of course, to map out sometimes, and then and through just, back and forth and communication. But if you can make the process simpler, why not? Why not do it? I mean, because what we're finding is that a lot of these businesses don't have a map. They don't have a map of their workflow, of their communication flow. And so what we're finding is that it's a spaghetti mess. No one really understands how a file travels through the firm. They don't understand how a booked call in a service-based business truly gets from, intake all the way to the review process. No one's mapped that whole process out. And that's probably 30, 40% of what we do is we hand that to the client and say, here, this is your actual process. And then in that process, that now is our North Star of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. It's our map. It's our map of what we can do now that we've got these digital employees, and it's just a matter of inserting them once we've gotten the access that we need, which is usually a big part of the problem is just getting the damn access. It's like that's where the most brain damage happens, believe it or not, is just trying to get access, because I mean, there's so many different people involved in the process. It's unbelievable. So we have to talk to this person to get this person to actually give us approval, and then they've got to give us the OAuth, and it's just we've got to get the right type of authorization, and it's just so that's half the battle. But this is why it's taking so long for some of these agencies to get the results that's been promised. The promise has been this golden age of replacing employees, and well, somebody's got to map it out first, and not everybody likes to do that. Not everybody wants to do it. The employees don't want to give up the information because they think they're going to be replaced. So it's a very sensitive there's so many different moving parts that, and so this is one of the reasons why it's kind of nice to actually work with a small business, because then we don't have to work with Betty Sue, who's afraid that she's going to be she's heard about this ChatGPT thing and she thinks that ChatGPT is coming for her job, and so we're the undertakers.
Yeah, and that's why Emil, kind of being like a startup and a kind of techie guy, I'm kind of curious. So like, what do you think? Like, all right, I give you an AI agent that works like a person, right? It can do whatever it needs to on a computer. Now we've given it a telephone number, right? So it can do communications too. So from where you sit in your business, like, what is that top
Man,
five
I want to double click on that thing that we were talking about, that AI taking all the jobs and everybody afraid that it's gonna replace us, all the stuff. I think like the home improvement is the last thing that AI can replace, and maybe it's really
Yeah.
the niche of the future. It's really going to be even more valuable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And
Until Elon has his Tesla robots, out there and able to, really sling a hammer. But here's the thing: there's an art to what you do as well. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's an art to it. It's not, and and this is what S and I have talked about, the that human touch, that artistic eye for seeing the way that a travertine countertop looks with a backsplash is not really going to be too easy to be able to be replicated in a AI, with an AI agent, like to have that kind of the ability to be able to put things together. Does that make sense?
yeah, and I would fix my statement. Not just home improvement, any handmade stuff will be really valuable from now on.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Ramil, how do you want to use AI?
yeah.
How do I want to use AI and to improve, to improve, to increase the leads? You know, uh,
That's easy.
to get more ROI. The stuff that I'm bad with, the ad stuff,
Yeah.
because we wasted a lot of money on the Google ads, on the Yelp, on the something. Yeah, so we're really sick and tired, and
Well, I mean, this is why,
yeah,
man. I mean, like you're in
I mean that's how.
I'm really glad, Ramil, that because I'm glad to hear that you've tried all of those platforms, because I really feel like if you just add an AI agent on the end of those lead generation campaigns, you're going to double probably the number of leads that you convert. I mean, I can't imagine that you would do any less, because if you look at the way that most of those platforms work, is they send out an email, and so you're getting an email, and so are the other four businesses. And I mean, what business owner that is also swinging the hammer like you are is actually going to be able to respond to all of those leads within 30 seconds via email? It's almost impossible.
Also, I think you're right regarding that. Depends on the area where you get the list, because we were trying the thumbtack in Los Angeles, and we tried it in Tampa, Florida. It was really big difference, because in LA, because we have a lot of pros, we was losing a lot of money. But
Mhm.
in Tampa, it was feeling more fair. You was getting, I would say, eight out of 10. In LA, you would get two out of 10. Something like that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, you'll see better conversions in different areas. And this is why I brought up in the beginning of the conversation that it really is important that you target the play, that you know where to actually set up your next location. That's why working with a partner that gets the data from Google that tells you, okay, where is there the most amount of searches and where is there the least amount of competition? That's where you want to open up your locations. And we know that. I can tell you across the country where the top 6 locations are that you should be targeting on Google local service ads because there's the least amount of competition and the most searches for your particular vertical, whatever it is. I mean, we've got that data for every single vertical. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm hyped up.
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, you know, this is very, some of these platforms are starting to create their own AI agents internally. I talked to Yelp just the other day. They actually called me to try to sell me, and I talked to the sales guy. I was like, "Hey, can you talk to somebody at Yelp about putting an AI agent at the end of, on the other end of your platform?" And he goes, "Man, I would love to do that because the number one problem we have is that our clients, our pros, don't respond to these leads for hours, and so it's very interesting. And so I'm in talks with Yelp about that, but there's a lot of the platform. But here's the thing: you want to have one platform that does it for all the platforms. You don't want to have one AI platform that can respond to leads from Yelp, from House, or from Angie's List or Home Advisor, or you want to have you want to have one platform, in my opinion. I mean, if you're using their platform, then you're stuck with just their platform. You can't use that platform, that AI agent on other platforms. So anyway, and I do think that the high touch, like one of the things that I just saw, and this is kind of related to it. I think people are going to be really craving like that, the real personalized human touch type interaction. And I was watching this YouTube video about this lady that has she's got her own permaculture, 5 acres where she grows her own food, and she's making a killing by not going to farmers markets. But what she does is she has people come to her farm and do a U-pick and have like they get connected with the land and they get connected with the people at the actual farm. And it's like people are craving that kind of stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that I think are going to be really like, because we're moving into a time where a lot of these mundane activities, like qualifying somebody on the phone, is thank God going to be done much better by AI agents.
Yeah.
And so, Ravel, are you looking to put up an AI?
Yeah.
You there,
Ramil?
Ravel?
Are you
Hello?
looking to put up an AI agent?
Hey,
We can hear you.
am I looking to put up an agent? You say?
Yeah.
Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, like how can we help you?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to find out what should I do. Like I said before, I have Google My Business. It's 5 stars, not many reviews. I would say 10, 15. Okay. Yeah, there is a lot of pictures, all that stuff. And I have a pending startup application, which is in the process. We didn't release it yet. Yeah, I'm just thinking with which one I should go so I can work with you guys.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying to be a middle guy. I'm not trying to be a pro like before. I
So-
mean, me and my friend were doing this business.
So we've done stuff for apps before. Like there's been coaching companies that go, hey, look, I provide personalized coaching. We have an app. It checks in. Did you do 2 weeks ago what I said you said you were going to do? And they just wanted to put the AI in the app, right? And we're like, yeah, that's easy. It's one line of code. Here you go. Now you get an AI that anybody can chat with on your app.
Mm-hmm.
And here's something to consider, right? You're doing home improvement. And I always kind of tell businesses, like, you guys made all of your outward facing stuff so self promotional. Those days are over. It's all about, hey, somebody visits your thing, what value did they get, right? So if you're talking about kind of home improvement, sure, like doing the actual physical work, probably can't offer any value there for free, right? But you can give them
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. I mean, we talked to this one person who, would do. She had software that was for calling the service repair person in, right? And when I was like, a lot of times the faucet's leaking, like a lot of people are thinking, do I need to call somebody or can I just fix this myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with AI, there's the potential for that, right? It's a
Yeah.
simple prompt. Instead of being like, okay, collect my information, tell me this person is going to reach back out to me, just be like, all right, what's your problem? If it's a simple problem, let's try to fix this now, right? It's almost like you build that goodwill, if you will. And there's, you know, with kind of blue collar businesses, um, they're it's not as easy as white collar businesses because you can see why, like for a legal, a lawyer, you can probably give legal advice, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but with blue collar businesses, there's a potential for that, right? Because there is this kind of like self kind of sustained like movement there where people go, hey, look, with ChatGPT, I can do everything myself. I can do a demand letter. I can do all this stuff. I don't really need the professional anymore, right?
It's
And
like click on it.
there's that potential if you think about. Well, tell me about what your app is supposed to do.
Have you seen Thumbtack or TaskRabbit?
Yeah, you used it.
Yeah. So TaskRabbit, it's more an hour rate, but Thumbtack, you just pay for leads, and doesn't matter if you got the lead or not. If the client replied to you, you get charged. It can be $20, it can be 50, it can be 100, 150. Depends on the project. If it's the bigger project, you get charged more. So it's kind of unfair application. So we trying to do more fair. So if you charge and you didn't get the lead, we refund money back. But on TomTech, you cannot do that. They don't care. They just simply don't
So,
care.
so do you have a network of service providers that you're trying to connect, and you're just trying to be the intermediary, or are you a service
Uh,
provider?
I mean, we are, me and my friend are pros, but like I said, we are trying to be a middleman as we don't have any, tools anymore. And yeah, we have some network of, of our friends which are pros, but it's not that big, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the potential on an AI that kind of sits in the middle is interesting, because so Ryan and I we have legal firms, and we talked about this for a while, right?
Hmm.
Legal firms go, I pay a ton for a lead, right?
Hmm.
And if we could kind of bring in the users on the other side that are looking for something, and we've actually built out an AI that goes, hey, look, I'm gonna answer questions for you, any legal questions, right? Almost as like a lead gen potential, so that okay, you could see why somebody would use this on the consumer side, right? And if you
Okay.
just get a network on the other side that goes, hey, look, let's just say I have 2 dozen law firms, right, that all focus on very different things, right? And if the AI answers the legal question, almost qualifies them, does the low hanging fruit. You know how ChatGPT goes, well, but you might want to talk to a legal professional about this, right?
Hmm.
Well, if you had a couple of people on the other side, it's really easy to ask that person, like, do you have somebody? Because if you don't, we have 20 people that could help. And what we've seen on the conversion rate of that is astronomical. Meaning, you've like the people will 80% of the time go, no, I don't have somebody. Anybody you recommend, right? And now it's back to the whole, what does ChatGPT recommend? And by default, ChatGPT already does recommend somebody, right? But if we had a network on the other side, right, then we could prioritize those. And so it's something to think about. You have a lot of control over ChatGPT, if you will, especially if you're going to have an app, something's consumer facing, right, that provides value, and you can get scale and volume from that if it provides value, right? And on the tail end, connect them with a network of people, because these are very highly motivated leads now.
So yeah, one more thing that I wanted to add. We were doing the same thing before, but without app. But it was unsuccessful, because when you find some pros on the side, on the Facebook, or maybe near Home Depot. I don't know if you have. We have in LA a lot of pros near Home Depot. You can get in real problems. You can get in real problems because you don't know the person. They can do their job really bad. You can be in many legal problems. That's why we wanna do everything, officially through the app. So nobody is gonna be in the problem, either other side or our side. That's why we wanted to go through the app.
I mean, look, you probably don't need an app. I just showed you a page that if I Googled, I was looking for a coach, right? That's a landing page with a chat widget on there. Why even bother building an app anymore?
Okay, let's say we found a pro, right? How we know that we won't have any problems? I guess he should have a license, one. He should have insurance, two. Okay. I mean, minimum these two things. So nobody is
I
going
mean,
to
I
have
would even
any
question that.
headaches.
I would even question that, right? So once you get into the insurance and the whatever, you're getting back into the old industry. It's almost like kind of saying like, hey, you want to be Uber for home services, right? And now you go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna need to make sure they have a medallion from the taxi license company, right? Like, there's a market there where it's because the old industry didn't serve them well that you're getting around that. You have service providers, people who are willing to provide a service, with people who are looking for a service. And like you said, you want to sit in the middle, right? And so because it's digital, you can see all the conversations. You can almost do some of that vetting via that, right? Okay, anybody who wants to be on the network, I need to understand how long you've been doing this. You have some references, all of that, right? And I think where the real opportunity is kind of that. Like, the reason I like talking to startup owners is because they're not, the old school industry only got so big, right? Only got so more efficient. And then the startups are supposed to layer on technology to do something completely profoundly different, right? And I think two-sided marketplaces are really interesting because there's a bunch of people looking for work, right? There's a bunch of people looking for services, right? But like, if you just play the technology play to sit in the middle, and I've done enough apps where, like, okay, Google and Apple have a 35% tax, right? You're gonna do all kinds of development, and then you're gonna violate all of that and get taken down. And then how do you get discovered? You have to go through the Play Store. You're gonna have to do advertisement for that anyways, right? So that's why I go web pages nowadays, right? Like, I have a lot of web pages that rank really, really well, goes through a shit ton of traffic, and I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't have a boss, right? Whereas if you had an app, your boss is Apple and Google, and you have to pay them a cut.
So you mean simple landing page kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, with I mean, here Look, and you can create these with AI. I mean, I use, S uses one. I use one called rep.ai. You can create a website that looks like a $3,000 website in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. And with AI, and you give it, you just put a prompt in ChatGPT, say, create the copy. You give the copy to the AI tool. You can use Lovable. You can use Bolt. There's all different types. There's Replit. I know S uses a different one, but basically, you can have a website with the domain, hosting and everything up in 30 minutes. And it's one page. And then at the bottom, you just put all those FAQs I was talking about. You install Bing Webmaster Tools on there, and there you go. You've gotten 40% of what we talked about in terms of ranking for the search for the LLMs, and you've got the FAQs. So you've got those short, punchy FAQs there. You've got your loaded up for Bing, and I would also put obviously Google Webmaster Tools on there as well. But you can do that. All you got to do is you give a prompt. You say, add this code to the website, and it adds the code to the website, and that's it.
Yeah, you just have to build the AI agent, right? So between those landing page builders, you need a chat widget.
Yes.
So either Ryan and I both have our own DIY makers, right?
Yeah.
And Messages Improved is one of them. DIY AI is another. Chat based. There's a bunch of these where you can basically just go on, pay a subscription, right? And then pop up a web chat widget. And so here you go. Here's your customer service AI. Here's your intake AI.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And and the industry is really kind of consolidating around like a cost per conversation. But and some of these, like we really focus on the types of campaigns that we've been working on for the past 16 years, which is Google Business Profile and Google Local Service Ads. And, like with the small business owner, like Yelp and Home Advisor. And because there are some nuances for being able to respond to those type of leads with AI. There can be some nuanced, scenarios there.
Right.
You can't,
there's kind of like lead channels, right? Whether it comes through Google, whether it comes through Angie's List, Thumbtack. And I'll tell you, even though you don't have a network behind you, like we work on building integrations because we have these chat widgets for various verticals, right? People come in, and heck, Thumbtack has an API, right? So like now if there's somebody in our network that can't service it, right? It just defaults to Thumbtacks. All right. Okay, give me your zip code. I can find you a plumber in that area. Right. So yeah, I mean, look, do you have a website, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say that's how we started.
Okay, what's the website?
Wasted a lot of money. We tried the Hostinger. Hostinger.
Yeah, Hostinger's great. And by the way, Hostinger's got its own AI website building tool. And this is, by the way, here's the chat widget that S is talking about right here. So this is the chat widget. So somebody would go in here. This is not your everyday chat bot. And by the way, we gotta jump off here, unfortunately, in a minute. But because we've been going for a while. But this is powered by an LLM like ChatGPT. So it's smart. It's got a knowledge base behind it. It doesn't just answer what you programmed it to answer. It responds based on its knowledge of the entire internet and the knowledge given it. So and it's customized for each person that we create this agent for. And that's another thing that you want to look at when you're looking at agents. You want to know that you've got an agent that has a knowledge base, and preferably that's got a RAG based system to access the data. Like that really is one of the things you want to look for, because if the agent doesn't have context, then or you can't give it context based on conversations that you want it to emulate, then it's really not going to be. And also, if it can't reference those, that's the thing. If you can't chunk that data into bite-sized pieces in a RAG system, retrieval augmented generation, that's what it stands for. Then you can't, you're not going to be able to get out of the system what you want. So anyway,
So I do need Ramil. So what's the website?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not sure if it's active.
No.
I'm not sure if it's active.
What is it? What's the website?
It's REPARR.com.
Repart. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, look, you have get a free quote. You have a telephone number, right?
Yep.
Why don't you have that you already have the site set up? That could just be a chat widget, and that telephone number could be the AI. You're done.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I do for my website. I don't take lead forms anymore. Like, it's all, anybody wants to chat with us, the business, it talks to our AI.
Yeah, and by the way, this phone number, this phone number can be click to call, and it's going to go to your AI agent. It's going to ring it can ring you first, but then it can, and you can have that 20-second delay built in there. And then here, instead of get a free quote, this is like very 1990s. This is like 10 years old, stuff. You want to be able to, not just get a free quote, but have somebody have a meaningful conversation with a chat agent right here to get their answers. And, and then also your logo can be created in 2 seconds by ChatGPT. If you've got the plus plan, just say, hey, create a really cool logo for Repar. This is what we do. It'll knock one out for you in less than, I'll show you. Look at Sora does an amazing job. I just created this. I don't know if I showed you this, but here's our new combo agent. I'm going to show you. So here's my media. So here's our new combo agent logo here. Yeah. So yeah, this was whipped up in a matter of like 2 minutes, and this is where I generated my DIY AI, transparent. And make it transparent, by the way, when you create the logo. Transparency. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, S made a good point. I'm glad we went to your website because, how far off are you from, all you got to do is add this agent right where S said to add it, right here. You're right at the hero section, right here, right at the top, have it there permanently, and take out the get a free quote and make this your AI number, or, have it ring you first so that you have the first shot at it. And then if you don't answer, have it, roll over to the AI. And then, if you've got, message leads that come in from LSA, you can connect the AI to your message leads on LSA. You can connect it to your email leads on Yelp. It's one agent with one phone number for all your leads, for all inbound. And I think it's just really funny. People still are they're trying to wrap their heads around this. It's hard for people to get this, but the more that we say it, it's like, the more I realize it takes a while for people to really understand what the agent can do, and that it's really just one phone number for, So anyway, does that make sense? Does that help you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, right. So I guess, Ramil, just have a pick, messagesimprove.com or DIYAI.com or Accelerate Marketing, right? Like, just go and create your agent.
Yeah.
Like, that site is a one-day exercise.
Yeah, it'll take you. It'll literally. So, and you'll appreciate this, Ash. So we've actually got an agent now that, that can create the agent. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, build a bot. Yeah.
So
that's great.
It's just, so we send somebody a link. The agent starts the process. Okay, you want an agent, and it literally asks the question, and literally like three questions back and forth between the agent and you. You've got a bot. You've got an agent built. So anyway, hope you're doing well out there. Anybody else that's on here? We got about 4 or 5 people on right now, from X and a few others on the other channel. So go and text us at 619-304-5155. Go to our school community. It's free, like I said. You know, go and check out. You can go to accelerateyourmarketing.com. Oh man, you know what? I didn't mean to. Okay, yeah, go to this is for Accelerate Your Marketing. Today's call. It's Accelerate Your Marketing, and that's who I'm the founder of that agency. So that's where you want to go if you really want to get your AI agent. So this is your the AI agent here, and this is the company that I founded, and they can help you if you have any questions. Really appreciate you guys attending. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
We'll
guys.
see you
I
next
really
week.
appreciate that.
Every
Yeah.
Yeah. Every week we're here. We're here at 2:00 Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Ramil.